Hi, this is section 6.5, product to sum and sum to product formulas. So we have some more formulas. We're going from product to sum, and later on we'll go from sum to product. So let's try this first problem. It says sine of 7t times sine of t. You're looking for the one that makes the most sense to apply. In this case, it would have to be sine would be the last one, d. So let's use the formula. Sine of 7t, so 7t is our u and v is our t. So we can apply the formula cosine of u minus v minus cosine of u plus v. And now all we got to do is simplify. So we're going to have cosine of 6t minus cosine of 8t, and that is our final answer. We've expressed it as a sum or a difference. All right, same thing with this problem. So we got to figure out which formula applies. Cosine times sine. Cosine times sine would be this part B. So let's go ahead and apply that formula now. Okay, so we have a 3 in the front, so it's going to be 3 halves because of the 1/2, but we have a 3 in the front, so you multiply the 3 times of the 1/2 and you get 3 halves. Bracket sine of u is x, v is 2x, so we have sine of x plus 2x minus sine of x minus 2x. All right, so if you simplify, you should get sine of 3x minus sine of negative x. However, we know that sine is an odd function, so we can write this as 3 halves sine 3x. This negative will come out and make this a positive. So it's going to be plus sine of x. That's because sine is an odd function. So the negative will come out and become the coefficient. And so since you already have a minus, that becomes plus, and this becomes plus or positive. That is the final answer. Can't combine those, they're not like terms. All right, now we have sum to product. This time we're going from the sum to a product. So here we go. Let's go from, they want us to express this as a product. So we have to figure out which one is sine minus sine. That would be B. So A is our 2 theta. A is 2 theta, and B is 8 theta. So this will become 2 cosine, I'm using this over here, A plus B, which is 10 theta, if you add A plus B, over 2. And then we have the next one will be, we're doing this one now, sine of 2 theta minus 8 theta is negative 6 theta over 2. All right, so I just subtracted A minus B. A minus B is negative 6 theta over 2. So now this becomes 2 cosine of 5 theta. And this is, the negative is going to come out because it's an odd function, and that's sine of 3 theta. That is our final answer. Next one is cosine plus cosine. That would be C. So we have our A and our B here. So 2 cosine, I'm applying this formula right here, part C. 2 cosine A plus B is 3x over 2. And cosine of A minus B is negative x over 2. And cosine is an even function, so this negative disappears for even functions. So we have 2 cosine 3x over 2 cosine x over 2 is our final answer. All right, now we have an identity to verify. So let's work on the left-hand side for this. So we have to figure out what that becomes. If we look at the formulas, it's going to be sine plus sine. So we're going to use this one. I'll paste it on the top. And then cosine minus cosine would be the last one over here, part D. Okay, so let's use these two formulas. So the numerator is going to become 2 sine A plus B is 10t over 2. Cosine of A minus B will be negative 2t over 2 over the denominator. Now we're going to use this formula. It's going to be negative 2 sine of the sum, which is 10t over 2, and sine again of the difference, which is negative 2t over 2. All right, well, notice that these cancel because they're exactly the same. That becomes negative 1. And now we have cosine over sine, which is cotangent, negative cotangent of the 2's cancel. So we have negative t. And cosine is an even function, which means that this is cotangent, not cosine. Yeah, so that's cotangent, not cosine. And cotangent, I'm sorry, is going to be an odd function. So this negative will come out to the front. And since there's already a negative in the front, that makes it positive. That is the right-hand side. Use the sum to product formulas to find the solution. So we need to use the sine plus sine formula, which would be this top one. Okay, so our A is 5t, our B is 3t. If we apply this formula, then we're going to get 2 sine of the sum is 8t, and cosine, the difference, will be 2t equals 0. And now that becomes 2 sine of 4t, cosine of t equals 0. And the way you solve these is it's the zero factor property. The zero factor property, it says that if an expression is a product is equal to 0, then that means that its factors must equal 0. So the factors would be, you can ignore the 2, or because if you divide both sides by 2, that'll cancel the 2. So that 2 doesn't make a difference. It's just these two factors that you need to set equal to 0 in order to solve. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Well, let's look at this one first. Where on the unit circle is cosine equal to 0? Well, that would be here and here. So that's going to be pi over 2. And we can add pi, any multiple of pi, in order to get these solutions down here. So we don't have to write two equations. We can just write one equation. So t equals pi over 2 plus any multiple of pi. So that would be all the solutions that take care of this equation. Now we've got to find all the solutions that take care of this equation. Well, 4t has to equal which values or angles have a sine value of 0. That would be 0 and pi. So same thing, you can create one equation. We'll use this equation, 0, and we'll add a multiple of pi to take care of these solutions. So it's going to be just 0 plus pi n. Divide by 4. You get d equals pi over 4n. So those are the solutions to all the solutions for that equation, and these are all the solutions for this equation. So that is our final answer. That is the end of this section.